So yeah, what are your final thoughts on just Halo 2 in general? Now that we kind of both replayed the campaign, we kind of gone through the story beats and the characters and all that.
What?
Like, what are you thinking?
I really enjoy the game, alright? I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed the story, the aspect of going back and forth between the characters, Master Chief and the Arbiter. I like the Arbiter as a character, even though like you don't get really in deep about who he is, but you don't have to, because he's very similar. He's got that similar quality that Master Chief has, to where it's not so much about him, it's about what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
He's going
Well,
through this, and he's got to figure out how he's going to get his honor back. And Master Chief is just doing his mission. His mission is protect humanity. All the other
yeah.
drama and aspects are drawn in from the environment and the story itself, which makes it
Yeah.
easier for you to, as the player, to sink yourself into either of the characters, because it's you and your mind, and all you know is point A, point B, and the story's being opened up in front of you as you're going along.
Yeah, for sure. Because most of the characters in Halo 2 are still pretty static. Chief, Johnson, Miranda. Um, yeah, even like some of the elite characters, like the Shipmaster, he's static. But the Arbiter is the one that's a bit more dynamic because you open up and you see a situation and is, fall from grace, I guess you could say, in the eyes of the covenant that he served for so long. His whole life is just turned upside down. I mean, he even goes on saying, like, I'm already dead. Well, now he's suddenly given an arc, and then when you start playing as him, it's like, okay, so he has this going on, and as his part of the campaign progresses further, he goes from, faithfully serving the prophets to then having his whole faith questioned by the things that he's experiencing when he's suddenly betrayed by the prophets, and then he starts finding out more things about the Halo Marines and what they actually do. Because I feel like there's again, we talked about it before, where he has the dialogue between the heretic leader, and I feel like there's a bit of a missed opportunity there where they could have had some more which, granted, that actually does happen. Like the boss fight sequence is just still strange to me, how like he tells the Oracle to let him know about Halo, and then right when he's about to do it, then like he just starts shooting the Arbiter before there's any chance of discussion. But like there's stuff that's like thrown at the Arbiter that flies in the face of everything he's been taught about the Halo reigns, and then by the end of it, when he finally questions everything and then gets the answers from Guilty Spark, he comes to the phrase saying the prophets have betrayed us. And even Tardis like has a moment at the end because he gets angry and frustrated, but then vehemently like accepts that he's going to continue following the prophets because it's almost like it's all he has. So there's a bit of like dynamic character going on with the Arbiter there, which was actually a nice little bit storytelling. It's like, oh, okay, we're playing as an elite, which is like the thing we've been fighting against for so long, and now he's not only are we playing as one, he's got actually a bit of a character.
Mm-hmm. It's simple enough and easy to follow.
Yeah.
He's this guy. You never met this guy. You didn't know this guy. You never even thought about it. Especially going through Halo 1, you're just going, yeah, they're the enemy. Gotta destroy them. Gotta kill the elites and the aliens. Even though the elites are cool looking, they're giving me a
Yeah.
hard time over here, and I'm just trying to get back home. Trying to blow up this ring and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, for sure. Um, you know, Now that I'm actually coming back to this map, Coagulation, and just coming back to Halo 2 multiplayer, I feel sad.
Oh,
I
why?
really, because I'm reminded of a time that I'll never really get back. Because, like, do you remember just sitting down with people, pulling out our Xboxes, pulling out the Halo 2, and then controllers, games, and then hooking up with LAN wires and a router box, and then just pulling out maps and just playing Halo for hours?
Of course I do.
But it's like we're never really going to experience that again. Like,
Yeah, the LAN party was definitely very different because you had your closest friends right next to you while you played.
Yeah, and we would all like curse and laugh and, you know, drink soda, eat pizza, and all that jazz. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, as I was playing Halo 2 in the campaign, I started thinking back to all the times we played this game. But it was, I mean, a lot of it was definitely on the campaign, but so much of it was on the multiplayer. We would just play Halo 2 so much before we actually got Xbox Live, when it was at its coming in at its prime for the original Xbox. Because eventually we got Xbox Live, but yeah, all we did was just that we would have Xboxes, controllers, Halo 2s, and then play uh we would just play Halo multiplayer, Halo 2 multiplayer. And this was something I forgot to bring up when we are going through the campaign of Halo 1, where we'd play a lot of Halo 1 multiplayer too, but we never really had like anything like the big LAN parties or anything like that. It was really with Halo 2 is when we started doing it. And I still remember going over to Philip's house when he was still living in DeSoto, and we would get together and we would bring TVs, like those big bulky TVs. Because I would have like the router box and all the LAN cables. I would hook everybody up, and then we would get a whole bunch of people together. And I still remember to this day when we played Fiesta. I think it was on Midship. It was like 14 or 15 different people. It was chaos and hilarity just ensuing at like every moment. It was an absolute blast. There was so much energy in that room.
Yeah, there was a time when we had like 8 people and we were LANing. We would hold a custom games and then we would invite our online friends to those custom games. So we were having a LAN party and an online battle at the same time.
Yeah, we would do that for sure.
You'll get bananas. I think the most we ever had was like 9 people. Like one of the times when everyone could show up, and even like Tony. I don't think we ever got like
Tony. Yeah,
we never got Tony and like Paul Michael and Snowman all at the same time. But I think like one of the biggest ones, of course, was the ones at like Brandon. We probably got up to like 12 people, because there would be like Brandon, Jay, Snowman, maybe Paul, and then you'd have. I think we even got like Devin over there a couple of times.
Yeah. Just a whole bunch of people. Like, I can't even remember all of them, but I remember it was like over 10 people sometimes, and we would just hook it all up, and we'd do big team battles with just vehicles and stuff, and we would all have like our own moments. Like when Tony gets the double needlers, he comes running down the corridor and starts blowing people up. And then, of course, you would have Philip and John when I try to run into the base, and then John would yell out, "We got a breach!" And then Philip with the shotgun would come barreling in and immediately start blasting me in the face.
They're screaming their heads off, panicking, but they just killed you.
Yeah, I know.
I was so startled.
Yeah. And I'll never really get to go back to that again, because online it's just sort of changed everything, you know?
I already have a plan of how to go back. You want to hear it?
No, what's your plan?
And you have a bunch of children, and you force them to play with you, and they're not allowed to do their homework or anything else until you play at least 2 rounds in coagulation. All right?
You just destroy them in the game, and they don't feel good about themselves anymore.
Oh, you have to become the sniper king like I used to be.
Oh, I see. Hey, I felt that.
Did you now?
I did.
It's time to practice your dodging skills, Kevin. Right?
Oh, no. Oh, good thing I'm picking up this Invis.
Oh. Well, then. Seems the master of dodging has been revealed, then.
But yeah, you know what I mean, though, right? Because like, nobody would ever really do that anymore now. Nobody has any reason to do that now, because I mean, right now, you and I are on a computer, we've loaded up this map, but right now it's just us, and I mean, sure, we can go online or random matchmaking, but that's not the same thing. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody in a room, and nobody wants to do that anymore.
It's not to mention, everyone in the room is your close friends, and all the shit talking you know is, what's it called? When it's like, sort of like terms of endearment, or you know that like it's half-hearted and forced out. to just amplify like shock humor.
Yeah. Nobody really means what they're saying, but they're saying it just to get, you know, the hilarious, you know, to get the rise out of people. And just, they would call each other names and we would all swear at one another.
Yeah. Oh, you rocket whore.
Yeah.
And then once we started watching Red versus Blue, and then like that dynamic changed our culture, and even the nomenclature and the jargon that we were using changed. Ah. Just gotcha.
Yeah.
Come back here, you.
Yeah. Not. I know what you're trying to do.
Just want to talk.
Yeah, it's just the whole idea of just not being able to do that anymore now. Because
I know it. Life moves on in mysterious ways.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm coming back.
He didn't make it. He was a brave boy, though.
His name was Robert Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson. But yeah, I mean, the only way that I can think of doing this now is if, I don't know, we got...
Remember this?
Computers or Xboxes. Oh.
You remember these two maneuvers? Remember,
just dropping from the air with an energy sword?
We had the Halo dropping. Remember, it was either a rocket or a sword.
No.
I remember I think Rick invented it out of nowhere. He was like, I'm gonna do it on you again. Unless you can kill me. I have to find you first, though.
You'll never find me.
Come on.
Where are you? Run out into the field in the open, sticking out like a sore thumb.
I'll murder myself. I'll do it. There you are.
Your desperation to kill me.
I think Rick was the first one to just do like that.
Ah!
And we were like, what does that maneuver even mean? Who does that? Uh-oh. Ah, my luck's turned on me. Alright, come back here, you.
Hey! Ah!
Joke's on you. Now I spawned with your weapons.
A brute plasma rifle and a needler. Let's go.
Yeah. It'll be a fair fight.
It'll be a fair fight. Oh god.
We should go check out another map now.
Yeah.
First you have to give you the chance to get your revenge.
Yeah, this is true.
Where are you?
I don't know.
I'm jumping out of a banshee right now.
You don't see me.
I don't.
That's right, you don't.
Oh, there you are. Aha! Oh god, no! And here comes a grenade. No, wait, no, he tricked me! I was expecting a grenade. Ah. Build tactics. Ah. Aha!
Okay. Oh, but I see the rocket is in my hands now.
Oh god! Tables have turned.
Oh god!
If I can get inside his face, that'd be the trick. Ah!
Yeah!
I'm just gonna sit here and lament about things for a second. Aha! I have you now. Ah. I heard it slap against you.
Oh god!
Is it actually hurting you? Ah.
No, it's actually, you're just like bouncing against me.
You can't run me over if I'm slamming myself into you. A total fuerte. Uh-oh. I felt that one. Now I'm gonna take your wings off, little bird. Now, if I can use this to glitch me out of the map. I don't know why. I don't know
why that's working.
Yeah, I don't know why you're not splattering me. This doesn't make any sense. I never tried this before, but
what the?
That one didn't even make sense. We just sort of didn't even touch each other. Ooh, yeah. I could have.
Wow.
I could have boarded you with that one.
That's still.
Ram. Ooh, that one hurt.
That one hurt.
Good.
Yeah.
You gotta get that wing in there. You gotta get that wing. Come back here, you. That is so weird. It pulls me like it's like I'm riding a gravity wave on top of you. The way it feels. Like, oh, there it goes.
Oh, there it goes. Wow. And you lunged that time too.
The ultimate anti-banshee weapon.
Ow, ow, ow. That actually hurts.
I told you. Ow. I memorized this. It was
I don't like that at all.
it was a legitimate tactic back in the day. You remember that?
It's SMG.
Yeah,
Just annoying and
the SMGs actually did great damage against the vehicles for some reason. Oh god! Oh! No! You fool! My one SMG strat is legendary!
I was a fool. Oh wait. But now I have the SMG.
Oh god. All I have is a ghost. All I have is a ghost, Kevin. Surely I won't be able to hit you as effectively as the Banshee.
No. You fail to understand that I have the Warthog. With no gunner.
I see. You've learned well. Oh, that actually hurt like hell. Jesus.
Get over here, you.
No, I want to go in here.
I want to follow you.
If that's the way you want to.
Might be a bad idea.
That's the way you want to play it. Is that the way you want to play it, huh?
No, no, no.
Oh,
I don't
look
wanna
at
play
this!
game
Look at this! Look at this circumstance!
I don't want to look at it. No.
Oh, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it.
Don't you
Well,
dare.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. Watch this math happen.
No.
I'm applying science to all of these.
Don't.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're gonna kill us, you fool.
That's the only way, Kevin. All these years. All those men.
All those men.
One of these days you'll make the mistake of driving right into one of these.
Oh, I almost hit it there.
Now I control it. No, who's piloting who, Kevin?
You know what, I have an idea, and it might be stupid enough to work.
Oh, that kind of worked. That didn't work. Do you now? You want to share this idea with me?
I have to find some way to flip me over.
That's your plan? To eject me? Well, if that's the way you're gonna be, then we're just gonna talk about it like that.
Wait. Oh god, how do I live? I'm alive, but how?
Yes, for now.
Alright, where are you?
Come back here. You fool! Betray you!
Oh no.
Ah! It said a suicide because it crushed me. That's weird.
See, that's what happens when you rely on your grenade tricks.
Right, there you are. There you are.
Nope, you don't see me.
I see you. Oh, that didn't work at all. Come back here.
Get over here, you.
El Toro Fuerte never removes his mask.
Ah!
Aha! The bunny hop.
Trick you.
It's a good trick.
Oh, I see your game. Rogue. Oh no! I've been deceived.
Wait right here.
Nope.
Banana ham sandwich. What was that? I saw something white shimmering in the distance.
Shimmering in the distance. Alright, where are you?
Nowhere. Oh!
Whoa! How did I do that?
I don't know, but it got me pretty well, too.
Wow.
Turn around. Come over here. Mr. Rocket Launcher guy. Oh, God.
Ah, no.
See.
I didn't have my battle rifle.
I see you had a single SMG, though, holding out on me, huh?
Oh, yeah. I better watch out now.
There you are! I knew it! Oh, crap. What do you got? Oh, a shotgun! Son of a bitch!
Yes! Never expected the Banshee shotgun tactic. Oh god! I'm getting out of here!
I'm surprised you survived that, man. I hit you with all kinds of stuff.
Took a whole lot of that.
Uh-oh. He's after me.
I'm coming in hot. What was I expecting to see if the Banshee would kill me?
That would have been amazing.
No,
Oh,
too far.
Oh, this is too close to the sun combo you had, Kevin. Oh, God!
I came back.
I just hear... and I look up and I literally see at the corner of my eye coming right at me. Alright. You win this round. Next map, I say.
Alright.
Waterworks.
Oh, yeah, wow.
First time I ever played LAN Party with you guys, it was this map. I remember that.
Yeah. This was like the map. Because I remember when I was playing this game with Philip and Justin and Jeffrey, we would launch up these big maps, and they would always pit me on my own, but they always made sure I was able to grab a Wraith or a Scorpion tank, and like, they would have to work together to beat me with like the heavy vehicle, and they would get rockets and like fuel rods, of course, but I would be so accurate at like finding and killing them with like the heavy vehicles. It's like they would always have to go hide in like tunnels and corners.
It was an awesome game mode. I wouldn't mind bringing it back. It was like Juggernaut before Juggernaut. Hey, you put that away.
What?
I see you.
You don't see nothing.
I see you.
I don't even see you. Oh God!
Get out of it. I'm warning you.
I don't even see you. Where are you? Oh God!
Ah!
Yeah, I'm already feeling it. It looked at you for a moment and then fired.
Well.
Because I remember like these vehicles, like they were super accurate with how you could shoot them.
Yeah. They're great vehicles. No doubt. What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't use that. Where'd you go? I've lost track of you. Now you're gone.
It's because I'm stealthy. I'm a stealthy, loud, heavy tank.
I'm gonna go over here
I'll
to
sneak up behind you.
the blue base. You know how tempted I am to try to pick up one of those canisters, even though I can't now. But yeah, I remember.
You know what I remember? For some reason, you can never fire like the mini turrets on this Wraith.
Yeah,
the AI can do it, but you can't do it for some reason.
I guess they thought it'd be too powerful. Later.
I guess, but like you could use the mini turrets on the Scorpion tank though, like the minigun.
It was right here, and the Wraith was out there. Well, it was Jeff. Jeff was in the Wraith. He was right about there, and he was fighting Philip. It was my first kill in multiplayer with you guys. I remember it very well because everyone noticed it immediately. Because Philip was fucking with Jeff, and Jeff did the Wraith ram to him, and Philip jumped just in time to where it knocked Philip into the sky. And Philip said, "Wee!" I just went, and Philip died. And everyone somehow, like 3 different people saw it and said, "Damn, nice shot."
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Alright, it's time to finally defeat this, Kevin. Run! No! Not my vehicle depot. That's how I make my money.
Vehicle depot.
There you go.
God, he's coming after me.
Does it actually hurt? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Come on. I'm back. I'm back again. No. Think about their family. Oh, okay, I died.
Oh God.
What are the odds of that? I just kept on spawning in the exact same spawn point.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, God, this map was actually pretty big.
Pro tip. I think only Halo 2 did. I think only Halo 2 and Halo 3 did that, and I think in Halo 3 they nerfed it to where you could shoot the ghost in the engine block on the left, and the whole ghost would explode. And if you did it right on multiplayer, most of the time it would kill the guy, but like half the other time, it would just knock him out of it. So he'd be driving, and all of a sudden the ghost would explode, and he would just fall off and sliding on the ground. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with this one, especially once we started playing like Infect, with a custom version of Infect. Remember that? Playing Infect.
That's right.
Playing Infect before Infect was a thing. It was just you got swords and shotguns. 2 people started on like blue team as the infected. I think eventually we evolved to make sure that they were green team or something.
Yeah. God, like, there's so much to this map, too. But yeah, like, to your point on, like, custom games, like, this was the game that started doing that. And, like, they became official game modes later on. Because, oh, hi.
How dare you? We were having a moment.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I got scared. I saw
fine.
you.
You're fine. I'm just
Is it fine,
being
though?
salty.
We're just being salty.
I'm just being salty.
Yeah, like infection mode. Like, if you were killed by the guy with the sword who was the zombie, then you have to switch over to the other team. And like that was a thing that everybody like agreed on as a rule. And like you would have like holdout maps where you just get like a whole bunch of people trying to overwhelm. I think it would start out with like 2 zombies, and then you would just kind of like keep killing more and more until like it whittled down to like a few of them trying to hold back all the rest of them, and then you just have to have like holdout within like a certain time or something. But yeah.
Get the sniper rifle and hide up here. I remember like this tower right here would become like, we'd play Infect and this would become the spot, because Philip would always get, remember we'd play Juggernaut or Infect and Philip would always get on the side over there with like the sword or the shotgun just camping, and we'd have to like figure out how to get him out of that tight spot.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, where is it? It's right here. Yeah, this spot, because you only have 2 spots that you can come up.
Yeah.
You'd be up here doing this. Look, just that's all I had to do was check these 2 spots. We'd go around and come out around to these spots, but then you'd see us on radar.
Yeah. God, yeah, these maps are huge. And this map, that's what I'm saying. Like Halo 2 had fantastic maps, like really good maps, and then you could tell like they were all pretty balanced in the way that they were designed, but they had a lot to it. Like there was a lot going on. Like you could tell like this was made for 16 people.
Yeah, it's awesome. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. God, it really like takes me back for a moment, and I just get sad about it, because I won't be able to have like that experience again, just playing with a whole bunch of people on these maps now. Which I guess like a lot of people who play like older maps, like they played like old Quake multiplayer and other multiplayer, like old multiplayer game maps that like had like these online servers. People can't go back to that anymore, because it's kind of like a thing where people argue like, everything on the internet's permanent. Well, not necessarily, because servers get shut down, things can get removed and deleted off the internet, and then yeah, it's like when the Halo 2 servers went down. It was legitimately sad, because
I mean,
it wouldn't be the same.
If there's such a problem with it. It's not the same as other games where there was a super diehard community that stayed a fair size, because the community sort of like broke to pieces with the company, didn't it? Because that's why you don't see it as often. You know what I mean? Because there's these older games where they even like made mods and releases. I mean, even right now, I forget the name of the company. They brought back like the servers for free for the original Xbox for a bunch of old games, like 200 games. I forgot what they were called. So I imagine that maybe eventually, I know that thanks to the Xbox and maybe even Discord, you can find communities within that still do custom games if you really wanted to look into it. Because it does exist out there, I know that. I thought about it. I just didn't know how to approach it. You know what I mean? I thought about making my own, saying, hey, who wants to play just regular customs? No, just maybe Fiesta most of the time, or maybe just regular BTBs.
Needlers on containment. But yeah, no, you're right on that point. Like, there's definitely still people that will have like their own custom stuff. So I think you're right, because I think there are people out there who have custom servers for like, I guess sort of maybe modded Xboxes, to where they can run Halo, not just Halo 2, but like modded Halo 2 maps and like modded like copies of this game, to where they can just get bunches of people and then just play matches, and that's what they would do. They wouldn't have to rely on MCC or actually this stalagmite.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You could shoot it down.
We actually got a kill a couple of times with that. It was nothing felt better than doing that and killing a wraith.
Oh yeah.
Where does that one fall? Does that one fall, or is it just the big ones?
No.
Oh, there it goes. Well, he kind of spins. He hits back there behind the building, huh? I remember we used these big ones up front a lot. Because there's that one right there again, and you got a nice hole over here, the outside wall.
Don't shoot it yet. I'm gonna try to get right under it. I want to see if it actually kills me. I'm sure it will.
It's like right there, right in front of the bridge between the 2 posts, but not exactly on the bridge. It's like right there on the dirt. And and there is a way to time it. I've done it at least once, and I've seen it been done by a few people who are like good at it for some reason. I want to say you used to be good at it, didn't you? Didn't you get a few guys like that?
I don't know if I ever did, but I wouldn't doubt it if I did it before, but I don't know if I ever actually did.
I only did it once, I know that, and it was in a LAN party. It wasn't online. I've tried several times online.
Yeah.
But usually, like, it would fall and the Wraith would drive past and then it would hit behind it. Sometimes,
Yeah.
some people strategize to where they automatically just shoot them down, so that... Oh, actually, do they respawn? No, I guess not until the round's over. You're just murdering the vehicles now.
Well, I was actually trying to see
what about this one
what
right
the
there?
rate of fire for the Wraith is, because I feel like I always thought like the... Oh, I wasn't close enough to it, dang it.
Yeah, so
I was actually hoping they killed me.
there's actually 3 on each side then. Yeah. Well, I actually only see 2 on this side. That one and that one.
I think there's one that's like right underneath this tunnel area. See if you can knock that one down. Like the one that's right above me.
I don't see anything. Right above you? Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
There seems to be more on blue side. Oh, that one spinned around for some reason. The physics.
Yeah, that one.
The physics are a little bit wonky now for some reason. Because usually back in the day, they would just fall straight down.
Yeah.
I remember
that one was
spinning
a little
around
weird.
like that. Spinning like that. But anyhow. What were we talking about before we started going off on this rant about multiplayer? Because you wanted to talk about just Halo 2 in general, yeah?
Yeah, well, I think I just kind of wanted to get out what I was feeling about this game for a while, is that more or less I just wanted to say that playing through Halo 2, while it's definitely been a blast, just kept reminding me of just all the time that I've spent with this game when I was growing up as a teenager, and we would just get together and we would play this game for hours. We'd kill like a Friday or a Saturday, and then we would plan like LAN parties and how many people were going to be there, you know, who was all going to show up and who was all going to play with us. And it would always just be centered around this game. And now that we're older and we're so wrapped up in the online world, and you and I are essentially on PCs now, we won't ever get to go back to that. And that was such a big part of our lives. That was our entertainment. This is like the game that we played with everybody. This was the game that everybody had. This is what we all played, and this is how we had fun and killed time. Because it was just sort of Halo 2 and Halo 3, like it was a cultural, it was kind of like a phenomenon with a lot of, you know, people who played it like games, especially with a lot of guys. This was the game that people would play just to have fun, like on a weekend. And it's not going to be that anymore, because now everybody has consoles that are all hooked up online, and then we all just play like all these online games that just will feel like it's only going to be there for a time before it disappears. Because for years, Halo was kind of the king of like these first-person shooter party games, and now it's not anymore. Like Halo Infinite, now that it's been out for a while, like I don't even know exactly how it even compares to like games like Overwatch or Fortnite or other like shooters, like what their player bases are. Like I'm sure you still have like the big, more dedicated fans of like this community and this franchise, but it'll never be the same as what it was with Halo 2 and what it was for Halo 3. Even like for Halo 1, when this franchise was first getting started, you had people who were just wanting to get Xboxes and playing LAN parties even back then. I mean, for us, this is when we started with it. But now, like, it won't come, like, I'll never really get to do this hardly ever again. Maybe if we could really plan it, like once in a blue moon, we can get a whole bunch of people and maybe like a bunch of Xboxes and copies of Halo 2 and controllers and play. Even then, I don't even know if we'd even want to go back to like 440p at like 30 FPS. Right now I'm playing this like a 1080 at 60 FPS. I could probably play it at even a higher frame rate and probably a higher resolution, but like
I mean,
Oh no.
let's just tell
Go
you that
ahead.
party LAN places exist where you can actually like rent a room
They
with a bunch of
do.
PCs for just that thing right there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you're right.
so I mean, sure, there's a group out there. If we really dug into it, I bet there's groups of people out there that might still be doing that. I don't know, like the way we do
Yeah.
D&D. Maybe once a
Yeah.
week for a couple hours they get together and go back in the old games and do it. And I know they do it for other games. So
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. And I'm not like trying to like discredit that or anything. I'm just saying like for me,
it feels like you'll never get that feeling back again.
yeah,
I get that. I
that's
used to feel that way back when
mm,
I first like moved out and I first started building my PC. Even before then, like, because I didn't really build it till I was like 27, but I started planning it when I was like 23. I was like, you know what, one of these days I'm gonna actually sit down and just rip this stuff together.
yeah. And then you're like, oh, it's adult Legos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only I got better at that stuff. I do the electronic part about it. Always wanted to learn more about electrical engineering.
Yeah. But yeah, to your point, you are right that there's still probably groups of people that do have like the LAN communities where they all get together in like a little center or gaming center or whatever, and they do stuff like this where they'll fire up an old game like this, or like they'll get like PCs that can run Halo Master Chief Collection, they can run this version of the game. Granted, I think this is sort of, from what I've heard, like this version is sort of like a port of the Windows Vista version, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's exactly how it was on the Xbox, but even then, like there are still ways that you can come back and play this game and still get that same feeling. It's just it's much harder to do that now because everybody's so wrapped up in online stuff and they don't want to really get together in the same room with a whole bunch of guys and then just ow.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Just it's not really as common as what it was back then, and like I won't be able to go back to that part of like my life anymore, and it kind of saddens me a little bit because it was so much fun playing games with all of you guys and just killing a Friday or a Saturday night and then just having laughs and then just not having to think about school or homework or just any other nonsense that was going on.
It
It
definitely
was
was.
nice.
It definitely was the time where we would be doing it, and we would do it for like 5, 6, 7 hours, and it would feel like we've only been doing it for like maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
It was that kind of fun, that much.
Yeah.
What other aspects though? Should we visit another map?
Yeah. How about Lockout?
Okay.
Game over.
Going to Lockout.
Oh no.
I think like Lockout is definitely like a map where we were very familiar with and we played on a lot too.
This
This
was
is a very unique map too.
yeah, for certain. I was happy when they brought it back in Halo 3. Honestly, eventually, I think I like the Halo 3 version more, but I still like. I had a feeling
really?
about this one. Yeah, just because the aesthetic. You had the cold, but you could also see like the water down there, and not to mention, instead of being like
Slayer.
Forerunner, it looked like a human facility.
Yeah. Oh god, like this right here, this takes me back.
Yeah,
Oh god, just look at this JPEG like background. God, that
You
really like
got-
takes me back.
you got the mountains, you got the Halo ring.
Oh yeah. God, that's still cool to this day.
Wasn't there a super bounce jump on this map? Super bounce? Yeah. You had to do something over here.
Was. Yeah.
I wonder if they kept that in. This is the Vista version, so maybe not, right?
Yeah.
All that cool stuff might be just gone forever now. But there was supposed to be something you do right here. You jump, and I forget. Do you hit like that corner, or is it on the other side over there, or is it right here? I can't remember. You do something up here, and you jump down, and you hit one of these something down here, and you could bounce up and land up there. And if you had a sniper, you could be a real asshole about it.
Yeah.
I think about that one a lot, and I know that for some reason, what was the easiest map to do it on? I'm trying to remember. I want to say we actually got the one on Zanzibar to work a lot.
Hmm.
Can't remember if we ever got this one to work. This was another one where we'd play a lot of free-for-all, Fiesta, and a lot of zombies. Zombies was always cool, because eventually... Oh, I fell to my death.
Oh, no.
Because this tower would always get involved. There'd always be... The humans would always end up, like, trying to stand off in this tower back here, where the sniper spawns. Another one they would like to do would be over there in the tower you're in, yeah. Try to hold up upstairs. Because now you just have two ways up, and if, like... There's a third way up, but it's a little bit more exposed, right through the front, right over here, because you could come up... You could just be like a sneaky zombie. Come up like this.
Yeah, you had like the underground to like come up from behind and hit people when they least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like the tower section here, but you had like canisters that you'd have to be mindful of or blow up before you get near them. Because people can like blow you up with it.
That's what I would try to do.
Yeah.
I guess if you're a zombie, you could bounce that. Slice up. I'm going to talk about how many times I got killed here. This spot right here, for some reason, while jumping over. This was my death zone number 1. It wouldn't be from falling to death. It would just be from getting shot by someone else. I don't know why. This was this was a death zone for me. Every single time I would jump across this, I ran the risk of someone with a shotgun, a sniper, a sword, or a rocket who's been following me for a second would have that split second of knowing exactly where I was going to land and just blast me.
It's kind of funny how this energy sword just kind of has like its own little like section or shrine here.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They always did that with the energy swords too. They're always in an off spot. Like, you remember on Waterworks, it's right in the middle of the map, underneath the tower, so you could get the tower, hold it up.
Yeah.
Just hide as best as you can in the tower. Hopefully, Philip with a shotgun doesn't show up.
Yeah. He was really good with that.
And there's that problem right there. This was a spot, too, right here. There'd always be someone who's...
Like right up there, shooting down at you.
Yeah. You'd always end up spawning down here, and you don't want to go through the upper part, because then the sniper will take you out easy. So you try your best to sneak around here like this, but then you always get killed by, like, BRs and grenades. And damn it.
Yeah, it's like a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, I hated spawning in this tower right here. This one, the one that's in the middle with the grab lift, this was my least favorite spot to spawn on this map, because you're just automatically thrown into the fray.
Yeah.
Even if you somehow made it past, like, because you could run down the middle right here, underneath, but they could still shoot you from the right and throw grenades at you. So you'd, like, your options are to go back to the tower with the grav lift, or turn left, and that's where that jumping section comes into play. Because then I remember all the times I'm trying to get out of this spawn, so I'm turning left right here, and then by the time I'm jumping over this, like, a bunch of BR rounds are coming from way over there, just murdering the shit out of me. Like, damn it. Let me spawn over here. Let me spawn over here. They're not over here. They're all in that tower. For some reason, you're spawning me right there next to them.
Yeah.
But there's no cover, no chance, and if I don't spawn with a BR... I'm so glad they made, like, Slayer modes where you started off... Eventually, they made Team BRs and, like, Social Slayer where you would start off with a BR. Instead of the SMG, because starting off with just one SMG and 2 frags, to me, felt silly. I was like, this doesn't feel right at all.
Yeah, because in Halo 1, like, the assault rifle was a very solid weapon that you would pretty much start out with.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the SMG just, it feels like you're just shooting a pea shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. When I think about it, when you were shooting me in the when I was in the Banshee with it, I was like, oh, you're taking out my shield really fast for some reason.
Yeah, that's one of the good things I was good at. And I knew how to use just one of them to maybe take out one guy real fast, even if they did have BR. Like, if we were up close and they didn't have a power weapon, and it was like either BR, carbine, and I was like just giving them the business end. It was very easy to use their SMG to take down the shield real fast and then punch them. but I would have to
Yeah.
reload afterwards. It was definitely not my like get a double kill weapon unless I was unless I had a really lucky good time. Unless I bounced their grenades just right, took their shields off, give them a little bit of spray, give them a slap.
Yeah.
Halo 2. There was so
It is
much. Go on.
so much. Oh, I was just saying there's so, yeah, like you're saying, there's just so much to it, so much going on. It was so much of a part of our lives at one point. Well, we can't go back to it the same way.
I think you were doing it right. Yeah. And my argument is, I used to think the same way, and I felt that way too. And I remember for a little while, especially when I was like in my early 20s, between like 21 and 23, I would still come back every now and then and just like look at the maps, especially the ones like I made for multiplayer first eventually. I think that's the corner. I think that's the corner right there. I think you have to do something. You rub yourself against the back over there. I don't think it's going to work because it's the Vista version, but if I remember correctly, you do like a weird nose rub over here in this little spot. And you work
secret techniques.
You build it up for some reason. Right here. You rub your face into here, then you're supposed to be able to go whoa, and then jump as soon as you hit that corner. It's supposed to like the physics is supposed to go banana shit and you fly way up there. I don't think it's gonna work on this version, but I don't know. It was one of those things I wanted to remember. No gravity!
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back. What else could I talk about?
I don't know. I feel like I've kind of like. I mean, you definitely made good points about how like there's definitely probably some people out there that are probably keeping this game alive, or like this, like the idea or the spirit of it alive in some way, because there's proof of that where, I mean, when we did co-op for Red Alert 3, we had to download like a separate program that allows us to connect to like free online servers that someone else was using that allowed us to play co-op together, because the original servers went down and there wasn't a way to do it. Ow. So there's definitely got to be same thing for the Xbox version of like this game, where somebody has to have like servers or whatever, and people are probably playing not only the original maps, but probably just custom made maps on like some type of like modded Xbox. Like modding the Xbox is not difficult, and like it's a legacy console now, so who cares? I mean, there's hacks to where you can like soft mod a 3DS or a PlayStation Vita at this point, which are like the last like handhelds, because I don't count the Nintendo Switch because it's still technically a console that you can just kind of take on the go. But yeah, I mean,
count it as a handheld.
Yeah, I don't really count the Nintendo Switch as a handheld. I know it is a handheld by technicality, but I don't count it as that way because it still markets itself as a console that you can just take on the go. Because the Wii U was similar in that regard, but it still kind of had like the console part of it that you still needed to make it function right. I don't think. Granted, I'm probably gonna take all of that back because I don't think I've ever played on like a Nintendo Wii U, so I probably don't really know what I'm talking about. So I'll take that back. But as someone who does own a Nintendo Switch, I don't count it as like an actual handheld, because the games that you play on it are still technically the same kind of games you can find on Xbox One or PlayStation 4 or 5 or whatever's out now these days. Whereas like games on handheld, like 3DS and like PlayStation Vita, those games had like a smaller like a quality to it, I guess you could say. It's like the type of game where it has like limited, it has to run on very limited hardware, and the game's like built around that hardware. Like that's what I think about when I think about those type of handhelds. It's like they have games that are catered to like those devices. But that's getting way off topic from what all this is. But I mean, I guess like my piece of it is that this was a big part of my life when I was growing up. I don't think I'll ever really get to go back to it in the same way. This is nice, like actually coming back to you this way and coming back to it with you this way, where we can just kind of explore the maps and talk about it and what we used to do in all these maps, and then kind of just shoot each other and have fun with that. But yeah, it's nice coming back to it, but I don't think I'll be able to come back to it in the same way unless like I can just find a bunch of friends that want to do all this again, and then we can have one last night of just me just hanging out with guys and just shooting each other in the face for about 4 or 5 hours and then just laughing about it, coming up with random crazy games.
Yeah, to me, in my opinion, you sound a little too melancholy about it. Because
Sorry.
There's always going to be people and there's always going to be games. So I was like, what are you talking about? Like, even if it's not this game, there's going to be something.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like specifically this game. It's like this one.
Yeah, we can do this one. It's no big deal, especially if we still have everyone around. I mean, even if it's still a small group, even if we can manage to muster a 3v3, we could still do it. Or we could invite friends that we made online, which I know we each have a few that would be like maybe or be like fine, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. You're always so optimistic.
I try to be. It's hard. It's very difficult for me. Because I'm just, I don't know. I sort of have to be. Because it's so easy for me to get angry or sad. I'm a very emotional person and I waver a lot. So there's a lot of times where I have to stop, pull myself back and say, damn it, focus.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's what they said the first time, and yet we're here. See, that's the negativity coming out of me right there.
No, I'm infecting you, I'm sorry. My melancholy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember to get back to better times.
One more map.
When I was younger.
One more map. I want to try and actually think of something to say, because we had way more to say, like, literally 2 days ago. And right now, I feel like I accidentally pulled you down memory lane of multiplayer, rather than actually talking about Halo 2.
Oh, hey, Zanzibar.
Yeah, I feel like this is another important one, especially if you had, like, small teams. We could still do... I remember times it would be long, hard battles with, like, a 3v3 capture the flag, one flag. We'd have fun, but this would be a fun try-hard map we would do, even with small groups of guys. Like, I remember a couple of times we would do if we could only do a 4v4 or a 3v3, we would do capture the flag, one flag. So someone's attacking from the beach, someone's defending the warehouse with the windmill.
Yeah, see, this is like a different kind of map, because it's not like a balanced, like, symmetrical map, like what a lot of, like, multiplayer maps come out to be these days. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's actually, like, some that are a little bit more different. But, like, this one, like, this is, like, set up to where you have, like, an assault team, like an offensive team, and then a defensive team for, like, capture the flag or bomb or whatever.
Yeah, it's asymmetrical as hell.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, they even remade this map in Halo 3.
Honestly, it's gonna sound weird, but I think I ended up liking the Halo 3 version more, just because being able to go under here than having that walkway that goes all the way around.
Yeah, that's right. Because they added more to it.
You saw it? Go ahead.
What's up? Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of the maps in Halo 3, though, especially like the remake ones, definitely made things feel a lot bigger.
Yeah, you're right about that. This version of Zanzibar does feel a little bit smaller than that version. It feels like you can get across it a little bit faster for certain. It might have made it bigger and we just never noticed.
I still feel like this is fairly small.
Yeah, this is fairly small. Definitely, this is definitely smaller than Halo 3's version, I would say. I feel like they definitely made this bigger in here because they had that entire walkway in the back. Hey, you want to go visit on Halo 3? Because, yeah, there's this entire parking area where the door opens over there. Like, it's just, this warehouse area is just bigger.
Oh, wait, before you quit, hold on. I want to go revisit the console.
Are you talking about the blue screen that actually says that stuff that was in, like, what was it called?
Yeah.
Was it actually text that was also in Marathon?
There dynamic session. It's occurred at your location. All functionality will be turned. Press any key to power the cycle of the system. If the system does not restart, scream at top of lungs and pound on keypad. If you need to talk to your programmer, press any other key. That's great.
Maybe it wasn't a marathon, but yeah, it was like this little Easter egg. It just says this bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah. This is funny. It's just like an inside joke with the devs. That's funny. But yeah, you actually want to revisit the Halo 3 one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's actually do that. Because, like, not only does it feel bigger, I mean, not only do they add more stuff to it, but it definitely does feel bigger.
But I guess what I was looking for, because I agreed to do this episode, it was like, we went on a tangent for a while about the differences that Halo 2 felt like before 343 got its hands on it. Like, just the differences in Halo. But maybe we should save that for the end of Halo 3. Is that what you're thinking?
Tangent of, like, Halo 2 before 343 got on it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, like, what we were saying.
Because we went on talking about how because it wasn't just Halo 2. We also talked about like the difference in writing and the characters and the because we're talking about 4 and 5 and the way they felt compared to 2 and 3 and even 1, 2 of the. But I didn't know if you wanted to wait till we beat Halo 3 to talk about that, so that we have like the full story that Bungie told, and then we just go back and reflect on it. Because I know you had a lot to say that was actually well thought out about this and that, and I had a little bit of this and that to say about the character that was Master Chief, because he definitely just changed one day, and that always bothered me.
Yeah. We can wait until like after we finish Halo 3 with Philip and Devin for sure, because it's just I don't know what they were really trying to think or go for, because even when I was playing Halo 4 for the first time, I always thought it was strange how like much extra dialogue Master Chief had, which didn't really like bother me too much, but it felt like the writing was different. And when I went back and further reflect on it like years later, it's like, oh yeah, this is not good like at all. But yeah, there's some weird things that they were trying to do with Halo 4, and then Halo 5 was just an absolute... God, that game was a mess. I have no idea what like Halo Infinite is like, which you told me like campaign-wise, like it's a lot better than 5.
Yes. Yeah. For certain, they take a step back. It still has some quirkiness to it. There's some wonkiness to it, but I really like the bad guys in the game. The Banished. I really like their characters. They're not anything new, but at least they're doing what Halo did best.
Yeah.
And it's not trying to be something else, I guess, but I like that they pull back with Master Chief a bit, because now the other characters are having all these emotional issues, and he's just trying to get the mission done. It's not like the other way, where he's always like sitting down, looking at his hands, acting like he's depressed, and it's like, what is this? Why did they retcon the Spartans being killing machine cyborgs, where their emotionality, like a lot of it was removed? They're not completely emotionless, but they still have like way more reserve.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a shitload
it doesn't
of
make
reserve.
any sense. Yeah, it's just a mess. And there is like, if we ever get to Reach, if we play Halo Reach, there is like some points that I want to bring up that they do in like the story of that game that does retcon like some of the books that they wrote before Halo Reach comes out. Like some stuff that doesn't like make sense anymore compared to like the story versus the games. Which, I mean, the games are technically going to always be canon, and that's fine. But it's just kind of funny how a lot of people that were super into the books, now they're kind of getting retconned. Because I read like the first 3 books. I think it was Fall of Reach, First Strike, and then Ghosts of Onyx, which Ghosts of Onyx was okay, but Fall of Reach and First Strike were really good, especially Fall of Reach, because you get to see how, John becomes the Master Chief. And there's a lot of like descriptions and chapters that describe like his process of growing into becoming like the Master Chief, like a Spartan 2. And a lot of like what they describe is actually pretty insane, like what he has to go through and what he is suddenly capable of doing because of all the intense like genetic modification and all the intense training that he has to go through since he was a child. And then like some parts in like Reach kind of like retcon certain things about like the story of the Fall of Reach, which I don't really care too much about it. I just think it's kind of funny. But it feels like 343 does way more damage. Like Bungie, like when they were writing the story, like I feel like they have like a couple of hiccups with it every now and then. Like some things like don't make quite a whole lot of sense. But there's a through line through it, right? And like for the most part, the story is consistent and it stays to what it's meant to be. Whereas you play Halo 4 and it's like I have no idea what they're doing now. And they're retconning like so much other stuff like crazy.
For certain. Oh, I forgot about these little guys right there.
Oh, what's that?
Just some fusion coils. Things that used to get me killed.
Yeah, like this little radio and like a little bench. Just little tiny details that they add to the map, like traffic cones.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. But perhaps we should save the Halo 3 multiplayer talk for when we're going through Halo 3.
Yeah. If we finish the campaign and if Devin and Philip are interested, they can kind of talk about it too. But yeah. It's been fun going through Halo 2 with you. Granted, I wish I could have gone with you to the last part of it, but I mean that's not your fault, not my fault. It's all 343's fault, but we had our own fun with that. But yeah, I really enjoyed having this talk, just kind of like coming back to those maps again, and then just kind of having a bit of a moment and like remembering like what we used to do and how much fun we had.
I feel like we'll go back and touch on that again because then we can do it with Devin and Philip and get their perspective on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But anywho. Maybe we should cut this here.
Yeah.
That was me and Kevin just reminiscing about the old Halo 2 days. Which is funny, because now we're going to go and beat Halo 3 with a couple of more of my old friends from back in the day. And it's awesome that they're all taking their time out of their days to join me on this little quest, because I told them, yeah, I'm going to go through it just for the challenge because I wanted to. And they honestly volunteered. Kevin was the first one. He's like, you know what? If you're gonna do that, I'll go through it with you. And I was like, oh, awesome. And then got a hold of Devin and Philip, and they were like, yeah, sign us up. We'll be there for Halo 3 and ODST. Hopefully those both work out just fine, which they should. I don't know how those didn't get remastered, so I doubt they got messed up too.
Plus 343 found a way.
Yeah, they messed up on purpose, faster and harder than ever.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, that was just a little reminiscing with Kevin. I hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the like button both hands if you have to. We'll see you in the next game.
I'm winking at the sun.
Mocking me?
Take that, sun. You stupid giant ball of fire in the sky that blinds my eyes.
You can't give me skin cancer if I'm in Melanie.
Screw you, son. I have space armor.
Yeah. You live in space, but I protect space from me.
I have armor from space.
Alright, take it easy.
That was nice.